That sound is so strangely reassuring, especially if you know the source. In the 31st and 32nd centuries, equipment that serves a purely defensive purpose tends to take the form of advanced armor plating or electronic countermeasures intended to conceal the user or otherwise muck up tracking systems. The anti-missile system holds a unique position as neither of those things. Introduced in 2617 by the Terran Hegemony researchers, the anti-missile system, used across vehicles, battlemechs, static defense installations, and aerospace assets, is an evolution of a much earlier design that dates back to the 20th century. Though the more modern version is far more effective than the original designs, the principle is the same. Throw enough metal at an incoming salvo of missiles to destroy them before they hit the target. Unlike other systems, the AMS fires independently from the Mechwarrior's input to act immediately when an incoming threat is detected. Computer systems then track and aim the rapid-fire machine gun to take down as many incoming missiles as possible. One of the major drawbacks of the AMS is its consumption of ammo, which is prolific. Thousands of rounds of ammunition are expended in even a very short burst, and that means the benefit of the AMS is considerably limited. 1 ton of standard inner sphere ammunition will provide an average of 12 incoming salvos. The clans tackled this issue by switching to flechette ammunition, which doubled the amount of shots to an average of 24. Still, during a no longer engagement, the protection of the AMS is effective yet fleeting. Like so many other technologies that relied upon advanced computer systems, the anti-missile system was lost to the inner sphere following the Ameris coup and Civil War. It wasn't recovered until 3040 by the Federated Commonwealth. At that point, many different manufacturers across the inner sphere began production with slight variations in the standard design. Though comparatively rare, AMS systems have shown up in mech designs as standard, some of which we'll highlight in a bit. The game rules for the AMS are relatively easy once you walk through the process a few times. If an attack is successfully rolled with a missile weapon, or even a series of missile weapons during the phase, the target equipped with the AMS can decide if they want to use the system to shoot down some of the incoming missiles. The choice is important because the AMS can be engaged only once per turn. That means the targeted player will have to decide if the incoming missiles are a bigger threat now than any missiles that might come later in the turn. If the target mech has equipped multiple AMS systems that are within the firing arc of the incoming missiles, the targeted player can choose which system applies to which flight of missiles in the order of his or her choosing. For an example, let's say this Atlas is the target of an incoming flight of 20 LRMs from the forward firing arc. The player makes the choice to engage the Atlas's AMS located in the left torso, which is aimed at the forward arc. Great, step 1 complete. Now that the attacking player knows their missile flight is being targeted by the AMS, they roll their 2d6 for the value on the cluster hits table. For this roll, it's a 10. Normally, a roll of 10 on an LRM-20 shot would result in 16 missiles hitting the Atlas. However, with the AMS system throwing up a wall of flak, some of those missiles are going to be destroyed before they hit their target. To factor this into the roll, we use a -4 modifier to that cluster hits table roll. That means the new roll on the cluster hits table is a 6 instead of a 10, which means only 12 missiles hit the Atlas. It's important to note that that -4 modifier to the cluster hits cannot reduce the roll below a 2, in all cases except for single missile attacks, which have a special note in the rules. There will always be at least one missile that sneaks through that AMS response. In the case of a missile attack that consists of only one missile, such as with a Thunderbolt missile or a Narc beacon, the AMS user rolls a 1d6. On a 1 through 3 result, the missile is destroyed. On a 4 through 6, the missile hits the target. Standard AMS systems generate 1 point of heat when they are used and consume 1 shot of ammo. The rules for the laser anti-missile systems are the same as the standard versions, however they generate more heat, 7 with the Inner Sphere version and 5 for the Clan LAMS. Additionally, if the laser anti-missile system -4 modifier to the cluster table roll pushes that roll value below a 2, all of the incoming missiles are obliterated. It's a small perk, but it's worth pointing out. As such an effective defensive weapon, there are quite a few older Star League era designs that come equipped with AMS. The Spartan, for example, is an 80-ton mech designed back in 2765 in the declining years of the Star League. It was packed with the latest technology, including an XL engine, double heat sinks, an ERPPC, and an anti-missile system. It was fast for its weight, and with armor aided by that AMS, it was tough to put down in a fight. Its success may have been the Spartan's downfall, as the production facilities ended up being targeted and destroyed during the Ameris coup. As a result, the mech is incredibly rare in the Inner Sphere. Much like the AMS it was armed with, the Spartan was a symbol of a much more technologically advanced past. Another interesting mech is the Grand Titan, a 100-ton mech that went into production in 3054 in an attempt to create a battle mech that could go toe-to-toe with clan mechs and win. It is another recipient of cutting-edge technology, including that XL engine, endosteel, double heat sinks, 18 tons of armor. Included in the litany of pulse lasers and missile weapons is a Mechwarrior AMS, located in the head of the mech. The pulse lasers and SRMs lend the mech to close-range brawling, for which the anti-missile system could extend the life of all of that armor over the course of the fight. Being a much newer design than the Spartan, it's frequently seen in military units across Free World League space. The third highlight is my personal favorite of the bunch as a mix of form and function. The 95-ton Cerberus is another Inner Sphere assault mech from 3054, much like the Grand Titan, but unlike the brawler we just discussed, the Cerberus is built to kill at a distance with a pair of Gauss rifles. With only 11 tons of armor, the mech needed to keep its distance and limit the number of incoming shots. The Mechwarrior anti-missile system, located on the mech's head, helps with that, cutting down the number of LRMs that can streak in, while the mech can focus on pouring more Gauss rifle shots downfield. It's notable that the variants of the Cerberus across the years in multiple groups all leave the AMS in place, which is a testament to the system's value for the mech. I think the anti-missile system is one of those things that can be really quite effective in the battlefield, though its benefit isn't always immediately obvious. It's not always easy to quantify the value of a few armor points here and there for damage not applied. It could add up to be more than just the number if it ends up keeping the damage from a PPC shot from going internal by those 1 or 2 damage points. It is for that reason that I can happily say that the anti-missile system is a piece of Battletech equipment that deserves some love. Do you have a favorite mech that comes with an anti-missile system? Is it something you swear by or have abandoned entirely as a waste of space? Let me know in the comments below and we can keep the conversation going. As always, I really appreciate the input and support for the channel as we continue to build something positive. It has been a joy to do my part to boost Battletech over the past year and going into 2023, which I think is going to be a very good year for fans of big stompy mechs. If you want to watch more, check out the Why Do We Love Medium Range Missiles video linked above. Take care and go make the world a slightly better place today and tomorrow.